Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, back for another crafty video. So today we're going to make another one sheet wonder. I do need to say something to you though today. If I sound like I'm muffled, it's probably because I am. I'm wearing a mask. And the reason I'm wearing a mask is, as some of you know, I had COVID a few weeks ago now, beginning of June, and I'm left with a horrible cough. So I found that wearing a mask, I think it's because I'm breathing back in warm and moist air, helps me to not cough so much. And unfortunately, it doesn't stop me from coughing, but it definitely helps. So that's the reason why I sound a bit muffled. And also, I guess when I'm working with paper as well, there's going to be paper fibres. That's not going to help in this environment. So we're going to make a one sheet wonder. So I'm going to cough, so you just have to bear with me. So we're going to make this one sheet wonder. Now, sorry, I've just had a really big coughing fit and I feel a bit out of breath. So we are going to make this, and this is something that I've come up with. I couldn't find any inspiration anywhere, although I haven't been feeling great, so I haven't been looking as hard as normal. So we're going to make this, and it's all made from one sheet. Everything you see here is made from one sheet, and we'll go through it and I'll show you what it's about. So it tucks like this, it opens up, and then it opens out, and then out again. And we've got a pocket here. Should have had something to put in the pocket, but of course I always forget. So we've got a pocket here, we've got a little pocket here, we've got a pocket here, and we've got this that opens up that you can tuck some papers in and then fold it back over. And you fold it around, you've got a tuck here, fold it over and onto the back, and you've got a pocket on the back as well. And all of those pieces, all of those components are all made from one sheet. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to need a sheet of 12 by 12 paper to make it this size anyway. So with your 12 by 12 paper, what you need to do is, I've got my little notes here, you need to have it so that it is upside down, but the face up. So the one that you want on the outside needs to be on the outside. So the piece that you want on the outside needs to be facing up, but you want it to be upside down. Now, because this is directional paper, I am going to turn it round. So, and then what you want to do is you want to score it. So this is the bottom now, and this is the top, and you want to score it as such. You want to score at 3 3/8. I know it seems like a weird measurement, and that's just so that it can fold into itself. It actually is about 3.5 wide by, can't remember now, it's not, yeah, 3.5 wide by 7 high. So what we're going to do is we're going to score it at 3 3/8 first of all. Then we're going to score at 6 7/8. So 6 7/8 there. And then we're going to score it at 10 3/8. So 10 3/8. So that gives us our 3 panels and our tuck round, so the closure thing. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it round so that you turn it 90 degrees. And then you're going to score it. It doesn't matter which way you turn it because they're both the same measurements either side. You're going to score at 2.5, and then you're going to score at 9.5, and that gives you a 2.5 this way and 2.5 this way. Okay, so you can take that off. You don't need the scoreboard now. You can put that away. I'm going to cough again, so hang on. So, I told you I'm going to be lots of coughing today. So then you're going to flip it over, and you're just going to put all of those score lines in. So first of all, you're just going to fold them all in. You only need to do it gently at this point. You don't need to kind of get your your scoring tool in just yet. So you put all of those score lines in. So keeping it this way round, what you want to do is you want to cut out, just bear with me a second, just make sure I'm referring to my notes correctly. That's correct. So you want to cut out these panels here. Okay, is it that way around? No, I've got it the wrong way around, so just bear with me. That way around. So once you put your score lines in, you're having it this way around, so you've got the little tab on the left hand side. So this way round, what you want to do is you want to cut these things out. Now I'm not going to scribble over them in pen because we're going to use these, but you want to cut this piece out to here, yep, and then you want to cut this piece out, yeah, and then the others you're going to leave in situ, but you do want to cut on the up bit, sorry, and this bit here. You want to cut on the upstroke to that first line and the downstroke to that first line. So we'll do that and then we'll move on. So whenever you're cutting, you need to cut the score line out just so that it doesn't get in the way of any folding that you do. So I just cut all the way up and then I cut them off from the back. Oh, feeling a bit lightheaded at the minute, so there's a lot going on here, and not being well is not helping. So it's the coughing that just drives me mad. I can't stop coughing. One of the things that helps me stop coughing is not talking, but obviously it's very hard to do crafting through the art of mime. So although I'm sure some of you would love it if I shut up talking for 2 minutes, but that's unlikely to happen. The only time I'm ever quiet is when I'm on my own, and I can't even guarantee it then. So just going to fold those back and just snip them out. You can just tear them, but there is a likelihood that it's going to tear the paper a bit further up than you want it to come out at. So keep all of these pieces that you've cut off, okay? Because we're going to use them. So let's cut this piece off. And then this piece. So that one I've got my thumb on, that's going to be kept. Okay, so there we go. So that's our pieces. So these are going to fold up and they're going to become pockets like here. These. And then these two pieces are going to be these fold over bits. So what we're going to do is going to do some just slightly unusual cuts in that I'm going to use a piece of a roll of tape. It doesn't have to be red tape or anything like that. It can be whatever tape you have to hand. And what you kind of want to do is just sit it somewhere in the middle and almost up to this very edge, and then you're just going to draw a line around there. And you're going to do the same on that other side. And put that in there. Okay, so now I've had a sneeze and a coughing fit again. So maybe I'm wearing the mask to protect myself from getting COVID off myself. So now what we're going to do is, I'm only joking by the way, we're going to cut this circle out. So the best way I find to make a circle and it to be, a semicircle, is to cut it, try and cut it in one cut, so as big a scissors as you've got. And the other thing to do is, and it seems to work for me, I don't know whether it works for everybody else, is once you put it on and you start cutting, pull the card this way and pull it taut. So it's got kind of a bit of a stretch on the paper. That's why you don't want to go too close to the edge, otherwise it tends to, your scissors slip off and then they don't You can't get them restarted in the same place. Like that. So, and that's how I find that I get a better semicircle that way. So again, I'm just going to flip it round to do the same again. So move those out of the way. I'll try and explain that again. So I put my scissors on here. I start cutting and I pull this way with this thumb. I keep, well, not just the thumb, but like the hand. And I find that I get a better, it's not perfect, but it's a better shape. Lie down, please. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it stops my hand from wobbling so much or whatever. So those unfortunately can't be, well, you might be able to find somewhere to glue them back on, but that's considered waste in this case. Okay, so let's put it back round the way that we had it. So these are going to fold up, and like I say, they're going to be pockets, so we'll just put a thumb punch in that. Like that. And then one in there. Like that. Okay, and then we're just going to ink these. So, or are we, Dave? I don't know. Is it there? Is it that one? Yes, it is. Sorry, the reason why I put my finger in it is because I wanted to see if it was if it got alcohol ink, because alcohol ink tends to dry kind of crunchy. So just wanted to make sure it got the right one. I don't want to use the alcohol ink one on my distress inks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to you when I've done all the inking. So see you in a second. So there we go. I've done all of the inking now. The only other thing I did while you weren't with me is I just rounded the corners of this flap, and that's all I did. So now we're going to glue these things in. So just a line of glue up either side because it's a little pocket. One of the things you will just need to check is, does that get in the way of your fold? If it doesn't, you're fine. If it does, you just want to take a little snip off that bit there. Put some glue up sides like that, and then just glue that into place. You don't glue these, so they just stay as is. And then you're going to glue up here. So this paper I'm using is from The Works, which is a stationery shop in the UK. It's a cheap kind of stationery shop. Hence the reason why the paper is kind of cracking. Oh dear, I'm really sick to death of the cough, the cold, or whatever. So I am just going to ink on the inside of here because these don't get glued down. So I'm just going to ink there and ink there. Never thought about that before. Okay, so, and then we'll just do the inner creases. Doesn't have to be massively done. Oh, I'm starting to get a runny nose now. I'm wearing a mask. So they're the kind of pieces from the bits that you already have attached. Okay, so that's going to fold over like this, and then what you want to do is you want to use the other pieces that you have for all the other bits, the other extra pockets. So I'm just going to rub out my pencil mark, and that's the reason why I said I didn't want to cover it in ink, in pen ink, because I wanted to use it. Just going to trim off and straighten these edges. Get rid of any folds on them. And then on this first flap, if you're making it the same way as me, you fold it over, and then on this first flap we're going to have it this way round. You can take the piece and you're going to round that corner. Now you can either round it with a little rounded corner using your corner rounder, or you can do like I did, which is around like this. So I did this way on my prototype, on this one. This is my prototype, and I did it like this. So that's what we're going to do again this time. When I was making this one up, I did a very similar, but it wasn't quite a steeper curve on there. And again, in order to do the curve without too much of a wobble, I just pulled the opposite direction to the scissors. Okay, bit of a pencil mark there. Put that out, and just ink that edge. No ink on it, so get some ink on it and ink that edge. There we go, perfect. And of course you could round that, the opposite corner, with just maybe just a corner rounder. We'll do that, I'll show you what I mean then. So just like that. And then we're going to put this on here, and of course because you're doing that, you're only going to do it on the two full length sides. Oh dear, I completely missed the paper every time I did that, Dave. Too much glue on there. And then stick that on there. So after doing the slider closure, this is going to be simple pimple. Okay, so then what we're going to do, like if you look at this one, so what we've got exactly the same as we've got there. This is made out of one of these little pieces. So you're going to cut this out like this, and just cut all of the, all I'm doing is cutting off all of the scored lines. Rub out that. I'm going to, where is it? My little, there we go. I'm going to do a little one on this one, a little thumb hole. And then every time I do that, they go flying. Oh, I've realised I don't have my mask on, so hopefully mask my thing on. What's this? Microphone. Perhaps I really shouldn't be crafting today, Dave, because you're not with it. So I will try and remember to turn up the sound. whilst chopping out all the bits that make where I've been coughing and sneezing and spluttering and all of that. So that's one of the small ones. That's just going to go in there. Again, just going to do 2 sides. I'll just do alternate paper finishes. Oh, and now I'm getting a hot flush. So that's just going to go on there. Okay, and then the only other thing to do is just like this. We've got this one on here. Oh, get rid of that. We'll just put one on the back here. Oh, not the only other thing, because we're going to put our tuck thing on. So your tuck thing goes on this panel, and your pocket goes on this panel. We've got one of these left, so that's what we need. I'm just going to take a thumb notch out of that and flip it over because we're using alternate colours. I've just been thinking, if I can't hear you when I'm doing the editing, what I'll do is I will try and do a voiceover, although I don't tend to do voiceovers because it's another time when I'm having to speak. But no, I don't normally do voiceovers anyway, because I can't remember what I was saying. So that's going to just go on there. Again, you just want to make sure it's out of the way of all of the folds and things, which it is. No doubt, don't glue that side. I'll pop that on the back, like that. And obviously you can put your pockets wherever you like and have them in whatever orientation you like. So fold it round, and then the other thing to do is when you fold that over, just put in all your score lines so that it sits nice and flush, everything just lies flat. And then you're going to take this piece, you probably won't have to rub out this line because you probably won't have put it in the first place. I'm just going to cut that score edge off. Okay, and then I'm just going to round those corners. Bit there. Okay, and again, just going to ink it. Give it a bit of a zhuzh. And then what we're going to do is we're going to light down like this, and you're just going to catch this very edge with your, so you don't want to have it too far over, otherwise you'll find you won't be able to get this in and out. So you want to be able to bend it like this. So if you have that kind of there, bend it like this, tuck that under, and then when you let go of that, you'll know how much you need to go in. So look, it's only like, what, 1/4 of an inch? No, yeah, maybe 1/4 of an inch, and the rest of it you can glue down. I wouldn't go right up to the 1/4 of an inch mark, because then that gives you some flexibility on the tab itself. You just want to pop it on like that, and it depends on what kind of paper you're using, or card, because, or card, hopefully not paper, because your card will flex more than others. So there you go. So that's just another little one sheet wonder. And I hope you have enjoyed that, and that is something you would consider making. If you do, you know what you need to do. You need to tell me. And thank you so much for all of my new subscribers. I've gained another 3 in the last few days, so I'm really grateful to you. I'm now at 2,110. So I'm grateful for everybody that's new here. I am trying to catch up on comments. But because I've been feeling poorly, I tend to, when I'm not doing crafting, I tend to want to just sleep. So that's when I'm not working. So I'm either working, crafting, or sleeping. So I'm like a hedgehog. So oh. Although there aren't many hedgehogs that work. So anyway, shut up, Dave. I'm gonna go now. Thanks very much for watching. My name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. Don't forget to give this a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you all very soon. Lots of love. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. Bye.